Conservative new media viewers, J-Lin fans around the world, and LA Lakers fans around the world. What is up? It's me, PFA, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we are here to talk about, in the long video format, the Lakers' awesome 107-92 victory tonight over the Charlotte Hornets in Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. Now, we made a short video about this game, so if you want to go and check that out, or you want to watch the short video now and watch this long video later, you can do that. Head to our channel. You will see the short video there and the first video you will come upon besides this one. Okay, the player of the game was J-Lin. 21 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, only 1 turnover, 1 steal. Played 33 minutes, shot 8 of 12 from the field, including 3 of 6 from three-point range, 2 of 2 free throws. He was a plus 17 and a plus minus, which was the best on the team. Kobe added 21 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. Carlos Boozer, 16 points, 5 boards. Jordan Hill, 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists, which is very impressive for a big man. Ed Davis, 10 points, 5 boards off the bench. Wayne Ellington, 9 points, 5 boards. Ronnie Price, 7 points, 2 boards, 8 assists. Now, as I mentioned in the short video, I did not get to see this entire game. There was something else that I had to do, and I was not able to actually watch this game until the middle of the third quarter. I will go and watch it later because I have NBA League Pass, so you can watch the games whenever you want. So I will go and check it out later to get a little bit more of a read on what took place. What I do know is that Jeremy only had 4 points heading into the third quarter. So he had 17 of his points in the second half when it was winning time. And no moment in this game was more winning time for the Lakers than the third quarter, when they outscored the Hornets 34-13. So they outscored them by 21 points in the third quarter, and they turned a 9-point halftime deficit into a 12-point lead heading into the fourth. They also won the fourth quarter, and they avoided getting closer to tying a franchise record with an 0-7 start. Instead, they improved to 1-5. They finally got the win. Now, there was talk before this game among some of the doubting masses about J-Lin. There was some statistic, I didn't see it. If I had to guess, I would guess it was win shares per 48, but I don't know that. That's an advanced statistic. There was some discussion that J-Lin was the worst starter in the NBA based on some statistic. And people were having these talks, and Jeremy sucks and all this stuff. Well, I guess he doesn't suck anymore, does he? Are we going to gloat? Yep. You're darn right we're going to gloat. Because we, as J-Lin fans, are tired of this. We're tired of the doubting and the irrational hate. You saw what the guy could do tonight. This isn't a fluke. You saw it in preseason. This is his third good game in the last 4 games. What does this guy have to do? And I'm upset because I'm tired of people doubting him. There are people that just want to push Jeremy off the stage for no reason. They don't even want to give him a chance. They don't want him to succeed. And it's really freaking annoying. And I'm not going to ruin this celebration with this, but I'm just sick of this. It's like the guy has to be perfect. And if he isn't, you want to kick him out. And that's not right. That's not right. So, for all the Lin fans and the true Lakers fans that want the team to succeed, tonight is celebration. Tonight is woo! Tonight is spinning around, dancing, moonwalking. I got the song Billie Jean from Michael Jackson running into my head, you know? Everything, it's just great. What I saw from Jeremy tonight is confidence, steadiness. And you can see the difference that it makes in him. In the last couple of games, Jeremy hasn't radically improved his ability to dribble the basketball. He hasn't perfected his shot in the last 100 hours. So what's the difference? Confidence is the difference. I was listening to another game. I was watching another game the other day on League Pass, and I don't remember who said it. I think it was somebody. I honestly, I don't remember. They were talking about how important confidence is in basketball and how it's almost more important in basketball than almost any other sport. And that is the truth. What you saw tonight, at least from the third quarter on, was a confident, swaggy Jeremy Lin. He's fired up. He's hitting three-pointers and shouting. He's got the air of swag. And this is what it is. What happens for a lot of young players or players that are not established is that their confidence goes up and down. And when you become a more established player or you become a star, you tend to have more consistent confidence, or you've got a reservoir of achievement. So even if you don't do well for a while, you and people who watch you can say, well, I remember this and he did really well then. So you kind of get a pass. Unfortunately for Jeremy, he's never gotten that because supposedly New York was a fluke. And when he was shining on the court when James Harden didn't play in Houston, that doesn't matter. There's always a qualification with Jeremy. There's always a stretch. Like, it was just a fluke. A little bit here. And he's inconsistent. And no. In the last 4 games, including this game tonight, Jeremy scored 17 points, 6 points, 18 points, 21 points. What's the odd result there? The odd result is the single-digit scoring. You're going to see more of this from Jeremy. Tonight was a big night for him and in terms of progressing as a Laker. It was a big night for the team, and the guys came through. Kobe didn't shoot great tonight, but he played well. He made things happen. He had some nice passes. He kept on the attack, and even when he's on the attack, the defense has to respect him, which means it makes it easier for other guys. The team ran the offense tonight pretty well from when I was watching. Not perfectly, and there are going to be times where Kobe breaks off the play and it becomes Kobe ball. But in general, I thought that they looked pretty much in sync. The energy was high. The ball was moving, and it's this is the way they need to play. Not every team is down at Charlotte's level, but remember, one of the things we talked about on Twitter and in these videos was that the Lakers had a very difficult opening schedule. They played Phoenix twice. They played the Golden State Warriors. They played the Houston Rockets. This was tough. This was a very stacked opening schedule for them. And, they played 4 games in 5 nights to start the season. That's brutal. You can't get any tougher than that, particularly given the opponents that they were facing. So now you get a team that's a little bit less than the Phoenixes and the Golden States of the world, and you get a win. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to go on a 10-game winning streak. They have some very difficult games coming up because the West is tough. But this isn't a huge surprise. That's why it's important to not get can't get too high, can't get too low. This team they're brand new with a new coach, new teammates, new offensive system. It's going to take time. Yeah, it might not be the season that everybody would like it to be, although we still have to see that. But this team can succeed. They can develop. They can be fun to watch, and individual players can develop their skill sets, like Jeremy, like Wesley Johnson, like some of the younger guys. And so that's what we want to see. And tonight we saw that. I'll go over a little bit quarter by quarter here in a second, just from the results that I had. But the bottom line was the Lakers shot the ball well. They shot 51% from the game. They actually made 6 3-pointers, which is like a miracle for this team based upon how they were playing early in the season. They got to the free throw line. They hit shots. They had 28 assists as compared with 11 turnovers. That's almost 3-1, which is fantastic. They got out on the break a little bit more than Charlotte. Neither team got a tremendous amount of fast break points, but they did it when they needed to. And the main thing was they came out after the half and they were focused. They knew they could play better. They knew they needed to pick it up, and they picked it up. And again, that started with J-Lin. He was terrific in this game, and as I mentioned, he was the best player on the court. Just in doing a simple NBA efficiency metric, which is just a very simple, quick calculation. Jeremy's efficiency for this game was 27, and he played 33 minutes. So that's close to 1 efficiency unit per minute, which is fantastic. That's MVP level, essentially. So he's not going to play like this every single night. So we can't expect 21-7 every single night, not yet anyway. This is what he's capable of doing. The shot distribution in this game was also much better than the last game. Remember, in the last game, Kobe had 39 shots, and the rest of the starters had 35 combined. Well, tonight, Kobe shot 20 times, Jeremy shot 12 times, Jordan Hill shot 12 times, Carlos Boozer shot 11 times. That's much better. Not because we don't want Kobe to score a lot, but because everybody's involved. When everybody's involved, they usually will play better defense because they're getting shots on offense, and the defense has a harder time because they don't know who to guard. If Kobe's taking all the shots, then the defense can just double and triple team him, and it makes it harder to score efficiently. So it's much better job by the team tonight. I loved the heart that they showed. I love the fight. They were resolved that they needed to win this game. And looking at the schedule, if they didn't win this game, they could go 0-10 pretty easily or something like that. So they realized if we're going to win, we got to win tonight. And they came out with energy and commitment, and they did it. So it's just a great win, and the team very much needed this. Look, this is the formula. Share the ball, get a confident Jeremy, get a somewhat confident Wesley. Wesley said leading up to this game that he was going to come out like a wild man, and you're going to see a new Wesley. Well, he was only 2 for 6 tonight, so he wasn't super aggressive, but he hit a big 3-pointer down the stretch, and he helped the team win. When Jeremy and Wesley can be confident and on their games at the same time, and Carlos Boozer has good energy on that night, then this team can really threaten some good teams. And it's coming. Jeremy's clearly gaining confidence. Wesley is a little up and down himself, as Jeremy's been early in this season, but Wesley, he's a very athletic guy. He's an energy guy, and he's kind of a guy that'll clean up the scraps. You're not going to run a lot of plays for him, but if he's into the game and he's getting rebounds and offensive rebounds and getting out on the break for dunks, then he can do a lot. And I know there's a lot of people that aren't really high on Wesley, and they think he doesn't have any skills and he's not that good. Look, he's never going to be probably what he was projected to be, because he was I think he was a top 5 pick in the draft several years ago. But there's still a spot for him. He can play some defense. He's long. He's energetic. He just continue to work to get him more aggressive, which is what they've been talking about with Jeremy. Well, Jeremy did it tonight. Wesley can do it too. Wesley's done it. He had some good games last year, some real good games. And he was playing power forward last year for Mike D'Antoni with the Lakers. So I don't want to give up on Wesley. I like Wesley, and the team needs him. They need him. So I don't want to just kind of write him off and he sucks and all this type of stuff. Ed Davis continues to do what he does. Comes in and gets it done. Thank goodness. If you guys, anybody that's watched these videos consistently, you know how high I was on Ed Davis when they got him, because I looked into him more, and I remember watching him at Memphis, but I looked into his numbers more, like his per 36 numbers, and I realized, this guy's better than I thought he was, and I already thought he was pretty good, but I realized if they give this guy some time, he could really break out, and he's starting to do that. So he's been a terrific pickup for the team, as has Jeremy. So overall, the team got the win they had to have. They needed this win for the fans, for themselves, for their confidence. Jeremy was the best player on the court. He took control. He seized the moment. He had 12 points in the third quarter, 17 points in the second half. And this is the way that we want to see him play. Again, he's still a developing player. I don't care if he's in his 5th year, because of his arc, his career arc, and everything he went through. He's still developing. So we can expect that there's still going to be some down moments. It's still going to be a learning curve here. But this is going to help him. This is going to propel him. And the next time he has some struggles, he can remember this game. And it's that will assist him in kind of getting back his mind where he wants it to be, and his performance. As I said, 3 of the last 4 games he's played pretty well. So we're seeing a new trend here. And people were talking about he's in a slump, and well, not really. Not in the last couple games he wasn't, even coming into this game. And with this game, it's even further away from that. 7 assists, 1 turnover. He played controlled. He played smart. He's clearly getting more comfortable with the first team guys. Remember, he didn't play a lot with them in the preseason. He didn't have time with them. So he's learning on the go. He's getting more comfortable with the first team. He's getting more comfortable with the teammates in general. As a point guard, you're responsible for running the team and getting guys the ball. Whenever you have new teammates, you have to figure out where they want the ball. Some guys want the ball on the move, going to the basket. Some guys want the ball standing out by the three-pointer. You have to figure all that out. And until you figure that out, it doesn't work really well, and it can look pretty ugly, and you get more turnovers. Jeremy's starting to figure that out. And the teammates are starting to understand how Jeremy plays, so they know when to look for a pass, how to help him out with a pick, etc. The team and Jeremy's getting more fluid with the offense. So we talked about this a few games ago. We said once the team gets more settled on offense, Jeremy will look better. Well, that's what's starting to happen. And it's going to get better throughout the season because they'll they'll get it down even more and more. Remember, new system, new coach, new teammates, new everything. But tonight was a good example of what it can look like when it comes together. So overall, I'm very happy. I'm happy for Jeremy. I'm happy for the team. I'm thrilled to not have to hear Doubter Nation after this. Give this guy a break. He's legit. I read some stupid thing on Real GM last night. Does Jeremy Lin deserve to be in the NBA? This is what I'm talking about. There's a group of people who do not want Jeremy Lin to succeed. And it's really unfortunate. Push them to the side. Just put them away. And tonight we did that. And with stuff like this, that group gets further and further away, which they deserve to be in the trash bin. And this pushes them closer to that. That's what it is. So, okay, let's quickly go quarter by quarter. As I said, I can't talk too much because I only saw third quarter on. I began to watch this game with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter. And at that point in time, the Lakers were currently on they were on like a 12-1 run. So this is when they were starting to make their move. And a lot of this was happening with Jeremy and Kobe. Kobe was finding Jeremy for shots, and those two are learning how to play off of one another. And Jeremy is beginning to do what Kobe wants him to do, which is, hey, bro, you take some shots. Don't just keep looking for me to pass me the ball. You take shots, you attack. And that's what Jeremy was doing. As much as Kobe wants to shoot and make plays because that's his nature, remember, he's 36 with a lot of mileage on his legs. You can't expect him to do it constantly. Now, if you ask him, do you want to do it? He'll tell you, yeah, because that's the way he's wired mentally. But the truth is, the less that he has to do it, the better off it will be for everybody. For him, for the team. And so Jeremy tonight, and particularly during this run, he did that. It's like, okay, it's my turn. Like Kobe wants me to do. And it worked. Because like I said, then the defense they have two guys they got to focus on. Who's going to hit us next, Jeremy or Kobe? Rather than just, okay, triple team Kobe and everybody else is standing around. That doesn't work. You can't win that way. So it was really good to see that. But Kobe, credit to Kobe, throughout all this nonsense and Doubter Nation stuff, Kobe's been Jeremy's biggest supporter. Is he sincere about it? Yeah. Yeah. You can tell, and Kobe's pretty easy to read most of the time. He is good he knows how to work the media, so he can show a persona that might not be exactly what he's really feeling at the time, but Kobe's fairly easy to read. So when you're seeing him in these interviews and he's saying Jeremy's really good, I mean, you can tell that's what he believes. If Kobe doesn't think you're good, he's not going to say you're good. Or he'll say it and it'll be some little brush-off thing. The amount of attention and focus that Kobe has spent on Jeremy Lin shows you that Kobe thinks Jeremy's good and talented. He's constantly talking about Jeremy's size, Jeremy's speed, Jeremy's ability, and it's starting to pay off. Again, this is the opposite of Houston, where the nurturing, the emotional investment into Jeremy by Byron Scott, by Kobe, is paying off. Whereas in Houston, the dissing had the opposite effect. Then you're scared to do anything. Then if you make one turnover, even if it's not your fault, you're getting pulled out of the game. And you're afraid to make any mistakes. And that's tough for anybody. But it's particularly tough for somebody like Jeremy because of the way his temperament is. At least right now. Just, he's still laying down his confidence foundation because of what he's gone through in his career. Hopefully, in the future, that won't happen, and his confidence will be whatever, and it doesn't matter what anybody says, or it doesn't matter if the coach pulls him out of the game. He was like, nah, whatever, I'll do it next time. No biggie. But for now, it's very important. And that's why it's so awesome how the organization has treated him. Yeah, it's not perfect. There's people around the team, a little bit of media, and a little bit of this and that. And he's been a disappointment. Okay, dude, it's 5 games. This is where it pays off. And it really worked tonight. And Jeremy did exactly what he needed to do, particularly in the third quarter. He was the engine for much of what was going on then. Okay. Middle of the third, and we're talking about this synergy between Kobe and Jeremy. Kobe passed the ball to Jeremy, was wide open on about 75 degrees left of the top of the arc, and Jeremy hit a three-pointer. Earlier in the quarter, Kobe passed it to Jeremy for another three-pointer. What's great about Kobe and Jeremy, we've talked about this earlier in the preseason and the season, they can feed off of one another. And that's what you can get into Kobe's sanity and Lin's sanity at the same time. And both of them have the mentality where that can fuel the other one. And that's a little bit of what was happening here. It doesn't always look the same. Like one time it might look like, okay, they're both scoring a lot. Another time might be Jeremy's getting a ton of assists to Kobe. Another time might be Kobe's getting a ton of assists to Jeremy. But they're in sync. And they both can kind of rise up to that level. That's the thing that's clear with Jeremy. Even if you think he's inconsistent or whatever, he clearly has that extra gear that we've seen many times. Kobe's seen it up close. And so not everybody can do that. In fact, a lot of people can't do it. Everybody can get on a run and have a hot streak in a game, but Jeremy can go to an extra level. And obviously so can Kobe. So it's like once they start rolling, things can get very good very quick. And both of them know how to keep it going. And that's what happened in the third quarter. Those two guys started bang, 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 bang. And then anytime Linsanity starts to happen, the whole team's involved. Because that's one of the main features of Linsanity. Jeremy can go into just scoring mode by himself. Most of the time, others will be involved. They're getting pumped up. He's making a crazy play. He's fired up. Teammates, chest bumping. That's what it is. And Kobe's the same way. And so it's, again, that's what took place here in the third quarter, and that's what carried the team tonight to this win. And I'm not minimizing anybody else. Everybody, all the guys on the team had to get it done. They had good defensive energy. They sacrificed. They made screens for Kobe, for Jeremy. And that's what it was. Even if those guys are the main engines that are driving the train, everybody's got to be involved or it doesn't work. So credit to the team for that. Then late in the third, Jeremy had a really nice play. This is what we've talked about before. Jeremy can make shots that look like bad shots, but he can make those. He went left to right across the paint. And he hit like a banker fading away on the run. It was just a great shot. And it's, like I said, when he takes those shots, they look bad, but he can make them. He's actually quite good at making shots like that. And that's what he did it right there, which was nice to see. Then Kemba Walker was taking free throws for the Hornets. You could see Jeremy talking to the ref. Look, we've talked about how Jeremy needs to work on the refs. He needs to get the refs to see him in a different way on defense so that he can be more physical and the referees respect that. They realize that that's the way he plays now. So there's Jeremy working the refs. Good. There's only so many refs in the league. So you talk to all of them over a course of period of time. Pretty soon they're letting you be more physical if they see you playing more physical defense consistently. So great. Then Jeremy was fouled driving along the right baseline. He was not going up for a shot, but the Hornets were in the penalty, meaning I believe they had 5 fouls in the quarter. Once you get your 5th, I think it is, then the other team shoots free throws, even if they weren't in a shooting motion on the particular foul. He made both free throws. That drove him up to 16 points. That was his 11th and 12th points of the quarter. And at the end of the third quarter, Lakers were up 12, and they had turned it the whole way around. As we said, they went from the 9-point deficit at the half to 12 points up at the end of 3, behind a lot of Jeremy Lin and Kobe Bryant. Jeremy began the fourth quarter on the bench. The bench did a good job. I was listening to the Time Warner Cable play of the game, and they're like, okay, well, bench has to hold the lead. Bench has to hold the lead. They're going to be able to do it, and they did do it. So when Jeremy came back into the game with Kobe with 7 minutes and 50 seconds left, the lead was still 12 points. So the bench had maintained the complete lead, hadn't given any of it away, and things were set up then for the team to be able to get this win. Jeremy had his 7th assist midway through the fourth quarter. He passed it to Jordan Hill for a nice jump shot. Then Jeremy scored his 17th and 18th points on a little step back jump shot, basically from like left free throw line, from a little like about the left free throw line extended out a little bit. Really nice shot, confident shot. He looked great. And I made a note right there. Jeremy knows what to do on offense now. Again, he's not overthinking. He's not having to analyze, what do I do now? Where am I supposed to be in the offense, etc. Then Bill McDonald said that this was Jeremy's best game of the season, which it was. Then they went and they checked in with the studio, which was AC Green and I think James Worthy and Jamie Maggio. But on the feed, you can't hear it. On lead pass, you can't hear it. They don't have that audio, so I don't know what was said there. Then Charlotte was shooting free throws, and you could see Jeremy was talking with Kobe and Wes. So this is good. Again, more leadership. Jeremy sees things. And so he's telling the other guys like this. It's like Kobe will see things, and he'll come and talk to you and, okay, do this, don't do that, do this, I see this. So that's, again, more leadership there. Then Stu Lance, who is the color analyst, he and Bill McDonald call the games for the Lakers, along with Mike Trudell, who's the sideline reporter for Time Warner Cable Sportsnet. Stu said that Jeremy played instinctively tonight. He didn't think about things too much. He didn't overthink, and I agree. But as we said, this is natural. It's natural for somebody coming into a new system with a new coach, playing alongside Kobe. It's going to take a little bit of time. This wasn't unexpected. This is why it made me so upset to hear this. Should Jeremy keep starting? It's like, dude, it's 5 games in. What are you talking about? Come on, give me a break. As I said, people are so quick to dismiss any success that Jeremy has. Oftentimes, and it's really annoying. And not giving him a full opportunity. Let him freaking get some games under his belt with this offense, with his teammates. But again, there's people who don't want that. They don't want him to have a chance to succeed. And it's extremely frustrating. As I said, it's real. So if you sense that sometimes, I can assure you that's legit. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. Okay, then Jeremy hit a three-pointer from right about the top of the arc, and it was a low shot clock. He had to get the shot up. This was the shot you'll see on all the highlights. This was his 21st point of the game, 19, 20, 21, and he was fired up. You see him, he's walking back, he's backpedaling back on defense, and he's fired up and he's screaming. That's Super Lin. It's Mr. Fourth Quarter, Super Saiyan version of Jeremy Lin. And now we're starting to see it. It's finally starting to get unleashed here in Los Angeles for the Lakers. And this is just the beginning. Just the beginning. I made a note here, and this is late in the fourth. The game was mostly in hand now. I said Jeremy's getting in the way a little bit on offense. And what happened was Jeremy was running to certain spots, and he was a little bit in the way of Carlos Boozer making a move, and he was a little bit in the way of Kobe making a move. But that'll get better. That's just... That's just a learning thing. Learning where guys like to make moves. And Jeremy was probably trying to follow an offensive set or move, but in those instances he kind of was in the way a little bit. Those guys would have been better having a little more space to operate, and they would have had more space if Jeremy hadn't run close to where their area was. So it's not a big deal. So that was it. That's basically the Lakers kind of coasted in from there for the rest of the game, and I finally got a W on this season. Look, again, I'll watch the whole game here in a bit just so I can see everything that happened. My understanding was that Kemba Walker was good in the first half, who is the point guard for Charlotte, but he wasn't as good in the second half, whereas Jeremy was the reverse. Jeremy maybe not as great in the first half, much better in the second half. And you'd rather have somebody be better in the second half than the first half in general. So it's good by Jeremy. A successful outing. Team wins. Jeremy's the best player on the court. Jeremy's confident. Jeremy's in sync with Kobe Bryant. The team's energy is good. I liked what I saw from Carlos Boozer tonight on defense. Carlos has been getting criticized on his pick and roll defense. He was much more active tonight from what I saw. The team put it all together tonight. And like I said, this is very important for the team's psyche. Not only just in the standing, they needed to win to get some confidence and to reinforce the positives that they have had in the first 5 games. There were plenty of good things they did. We said in that Warriors game, yeah, they ended up losing by 23. That game was a very close game through about 3.5 quarters. And so getting the victory tonight it's like, yeah, we're doing things right. Now we've got some proof of that. So this was a very critical W, and I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happier. I can't wait to go and read. I want to read all the reports. I want to read everybody that was saying Jeremy isn't that good. Now what are you saying? I want to see him get pumped up, finally. But to be fair, the Los Angeles media, for the most part, has told it straight. Sometimes I think they've been a little too harsh on Jeremy. But when he does well, they'll tell you he did well. Unlike, I can remember reading an article in the Houston media last year. Jeremy had a big game. I don't know, 20-something points. And literally, the way that the article was written was, well, because the shooter started hitting shots, that allowed Jeremy Lin to get some points. And it was nonsense. This is the propaganda that we're talking about. It's like, no, actually, Jeremy started driving to the basket, and that opened things up for the shooters. But it's like he couldn't do anything right in Houston. So the LA media hasn't been that way. Again, I don't read every single article from everybody, but I read a lot of them, and I keep track of who's saying what. They just don't. I think the LA media has somewhat gotten caught up in the false narratives about Jeremy. Oh, he's not that good. He's inconsistent. But when he does do well, they'll tell you he did well. And that's definitely a breath of fresh air. So this takes the pressure off the team. It takes the pressure off Jeremy. And for the neutral Lakers fan that just wants the team to do well, and they're going to support players on the team who are doing well, this lets them get behind Jeremy. This gives them a different look on Jeremy, even though, as I said, he played 2 good games out of the last 3 before this game. The difference in tonight's game was they won. So if there is, like, in the in the Phoenix game, Jeremy was really, really good in that game until the very end. So in the mind of a neutral fan, you can say, well, yeah, he was good, but he cost us the game down the stretch, even if that's not true. Well, tonight, there is no cost in the game. They won. And so it makes it easier for the person to say, Jeremy was really good. Jeremy was a player of the game because the victory came with the accomplishments that Jeremy recorded. So that's great. A successful night all the way around. LA wins. Woo! Jeremy, best player on the floor. He needed this the same way that the team needed it. He shot 50% from three-point range. Shot 67% from the field. He had 1 turnover. So all the stats, all the adjustment on the stats that we wanted to see, we're going to see. His PER is going to go way up. His PER, player efficiency rating, coming into this game was about 10.7. And that's not that good. The way that PER is set up, if you're not familiar with it, it's an advanced stat. It's one of something called a total stat. It's kind of trying to take the player all the way, all perspectives, although it is much more focused on offense than defense. The way that PER is set up, an average player has a PER of 15. That's the way that it's calculated to have that result. So Jeremy came in with a 10.7. He doesn't look that good. Well, now the PER is going to go up. I can't tell you what the number is going to be, but it's going to go way up. So that's good to see, and that'll help him look better. And good. He also came into the game with a win shares per 48 of a negative number, which is obviously that's not what you want. You want a high positive number, and so that's going to go up. So fantastic night. I know you guys are pumped up. I've already talked to a couple of you on Twitter and in the comments of the short video. Let's keep talking. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I know that everybody's as happier than I am, which is great. So thumbs up, thumbs down, your comments below. We'll put full information in the video description below the video player so you can check out highlights of this game. You can come and check us out on Twitter, and you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group if you'd like to do so. Once again, I am Paul Filariel, PFE, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 YouTube Jeremy Lin fan channel. Next game coming up is 2 days from now. Tuesday, November 11th here in the United States. That'll take place in Memphis, Tennessee, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. on Wednesday, November 12th in Taiwan, in China, and in the Philippines. And speaking of the Philippines, I cannot wait to watch the Manny Pacquiao fight in 2 weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. So maybe if I have a chance, I'm going to do a video about that. So that is it for now. It is currently 1:38 a.m. here on Monday, November 10th, 2014. So it is 2:38 p.m. in Taipei, Taiwan. Hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, and I know that you did. Doubters silenced, Lin shines, Lakers win. That's what we wanted to see. That puts the cherry on top of the sundae for this week in Lakers basketball. We will talk to you guys soon. Have a great night, a great day, wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care.